Hey, this is Depesh Mandalia, and this is part of our series of showing you how to build an ad account. And I'll be using AI to show you how to do it faster and easier as well. So we have a community member of ours who have given us access to their ad account, and I'm going to go through this from scratch, and I don't really know anything about them. So I'm going to show you the process of actually going through the research, finding out who they are, and building the avatars very quickly into campaigns and being ready to launch as well. So I'm going to go and look at what they have right now. So last 30 days, we can look at the spend. So let's go to performance and clicks and amount spent. Main thing I want to look at right now is like, where has the money gone over the last 30 days? So there's a top of funnel ad here. And we look at this one here. Most of the money's gone here. So at this stage, I don't really know much about what's going on, but I'm looking at WhatsApp ads, so that looks interesting. So it looks like maybe a call to action going straight into WhatsApp. So first thing is, it's in Arabic. I cannot read Arabic, so I'm going to have to do a bit of research here to find out what the ad is talking about, so I can actually find out what we're actually doing. Meta here has translated 35% Black Friday sale. This chance joined the current course to become an Arabic language teacher. Okay, got it. So even if you're not from the educational field, this is an automatic and sincere certificate. Okay, cool. So I've got that. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take out so I'm going to copy that. So I'm going to take out the 35% Black Friday because that's not really relevant right now. The other thing I'm going to do is open this page so I can actually find out more as well. Often there are websites, so you can go and look at the client's website. The Facebook page is one point, and obviously the ads as well. Now, the reason I need this information, apart from knowing what I'm advertising, is to be able to set up the campaign in a way that's going to target the right people with the right message. So now I've logged into AdSignals AI, which is my AI tool, just to show you the whole process of how easy it is to get ads running. So the first thing we need to do is to create a project. So I'm going to create a project here. So let's call it this. So I'm going to go in and ask my AI to translate for me, translate this to English. So I'm asking myself because this is essentially me in AI form. So the way the AI works is it's got information about my programs, my methodologies, case studies, all that kind of built in. So it helps to answer questions. And often I come here when I need information on case studies that we've done in the past, or I need some insights, and I just don't want to do the thinking right now as well. So it's just a bit of a shortcut. So let's first of all call it that. I'm going to just copy that into the description. Academy for Teacher Training, Future Institute Paris. I'm going to create that project. So the project's created. Now I'm going to go ahead and create my avatar. So the first part of the way we run ads is, the first point is, who are we targeting? So there's 4 parts of the framework that I call the advertising core for. The first part is the avatar or audience once you know the product or service. So we know that we are targeting people that want to become Arabic language teachers in this particular campaign. So that's the service that we're offering. We then need to build our avatar. Then we need to build an offer, the messaging and the creative. Then we need to figure out the funnel. So I'm going to put this in. So copy this back as well. So I'm going to copy. So actually, I'm not going to use a Black Friday offer because that might be a little misleading. Let's choose one that's a bottom of funnel evergreen. Okay, that ad is off. Let's have a look at this one. Go into the ads and let's look at amount spent. Go to preview and go back into Facebook so we can get our translation. Register for current formation to become teacher. Okay, it's not really good copy. It's not really helping me to, and maybe this is part of the challenge. So I'm not going to use the ads in this case. So let's have a look at the website and let's see what's going on. So it's currently in French. So we're going to change that to English. Teacher Training Academy. Okay, it's cool. So what I'm looking for is a bit more information on who we are. There we go. So our teaching method, between art and science, all good. Okay, so it's actually limited information on the website. So this also could be a problem in terms of finding out who the avatar is. Let's see what we can do here. Where's my translate option gone? Let's ask Google. In fact, what we can do, let's just go back into our AI. So this time I'm going to say based on this website copy, who's the avatar and what's the product? Let's just see what it comes back with. I don't actually know what it says, but the thing is I'm hoping it will read the Arabic and make sense of it. Or maybe not, maybe it's just given up. Let's go back, see if there's the copy here. Let's go to English. Okay, so that actually might be the hook that we're looking for. So let's copy that. What happened to my AI? So here's the offer. So our Arabic Teaching Training Academy. Okay, it woke up. So let's just see what it come back with here. So this is actually creating an avatar in the actual chat itself. I'm interested in the product. Teachers and educators, primarily those who teach Arabic as a second language to children aged... Okay, so it's for children. Okay, so that's useful. So I'm going to put that in. Okay, that's useful. Then I think we had some info on prices here. So let's go back to our preview. Okay, let's paste that in. So the reason I'm going to paste this in is because I want to see how the offer is produced. Okay, that's all fine. I don't think there's any particular compliance issues here. So I'm going to click on Build Avatar. So what this will do is it will do the analysis similar to what the chat did, but I need this in a specific format because what we end up doing is within the BPM method, there's a particular blueprint and a framework that we use in order to create the structure for defining the avatar that is required to create some really good copy and also add targeting. So this is a system, it's a step-by-step process. So once you've got the avatar, that gets plugged into the next part of the process. And each step is just click after this, and it just becomes easier. And just this is an example of where I don't really know about the product or the service, and I'm going to push that research over to the AI so it does the thinking for me, which it's doing in the background. So part of the rules or the kind of framework that the AI uses is for each of these sections, it has specific instructions on how to answer and to fill these things out. Now, I'm going to save that to avatar. I'll just call it avatar 1 because I don't really know too much about. In fact, so what was it? We've got teachers, educators. So I'm going to save that. So dedicated educators, typically 30 to 50. Okay, that's useful. Work in French-speaking regions. Professional focus on teaching Arabic. Okay, that's all good. Recognition for expertise. So we're talking about certification and things. Cost could be a barrier. Subscription fee, a significant investment. Okay, so that's all good. So now we've saved our avatar. The next thing I want to do is to create some targeting for this as well. So I'm selecting my project, my avatar. Now the country in question, I don't know where they're actually targeting. So let's go into here and see. I imagine it's France or maybe not. Okay, so it's in Europe overall. Let's go to one of the highest spending ones here. So I think it's just Europe in general, it looks like. Okay, so these are probably more French speaking, I'm guessing, but the ads are in Arabic. So I guess that's a way of hooking in the right people. If you can't read it, then you're not the right prospect as well. That can also create some clashes. I'm just going to go and put this into France for the time being. Now, the reason to put a country in is that some interests are not available in some countries. So by just putting one country in, and we can come back and do different countries, which is fine as well, but at least you get a start point. So what I've done here is to say for this particular avatar and all of the breakdown that we've got, go and, so there's two parts to this. One is go and find ideas to target them on Facebook. So we have lookalikes and things we can look at later, but this is just looking at interest targeting and also broad. So it will come back with 10 recommendations. The first one is always a broad targeting idea, and then 9 other ideas, which you can use if you want, or you don't have to use. So they're just there to show you what's in the meta database, because what it then does is says, for France, do these interests exist? Broad audience test, this is France, 30 to 50. So again, like it's looked at the avatar and said, majority of the people are probably going to be female, 30 to 50. Whether that's true or not, we've got data. Like many times businesses don't have the data, but we can actually look at gender here. So if we type in gender and we look at the split here, yeah, so like it's pretty much spot on. So like the conversions themselves seem to be coming from females. So that's actually a good call from the AI. So it nailed that. So I'm going to save this as an audience, which is being saved into my project. Language acquisition enthusiasts. So language acquisition, multicultural education, language teaching. Engaged shoppers as well, it's pushed in because those people are the people that kind of bought something or at least showed an intent in the last 30 days, which is good. Not so sure about that as an interest. Teacher training, professional development. Yep, I'm going to save that one. I don't like that. Innovative teaching, edu, tech, curriculum. That's similar to that one. Arabic language, definitely. I'm going to save that. Cultural edu, not so sure. Teaching resources, nope. Nope. Yep, I like that one. So I'm going to save that. And then linguistics, language policy, that looks good as well. So I've just saved those there. Let's just do another audience. What else did we have here? So let's go to setup. Does that give us our countries? So Netherlands, that's Switzerland, I think. Belgium as well, that's quite interesting. So once this is finished loading, okay, it's crashed out on me. So what I wanted to see is the breakdown by country. Okay, so I'm going to have to go back and to get rid of my breakdown, go into setup, performance and clicks. Let's go into there, let's go into country, and let's see where, okay, France seems to be where the purchases are coming from, so maybe France is the way to go for the time being at least. An interesting part of this is I would say the pixel's been trained on France, and the reason I say that is I'm looking at some of these Europe campaigns heavily weighting all the ad spend into France, not so much into the other countries, which suggests to me the pixel knows where the majority of the traffic is or where the sales are going to come from, and it's focusing on France. So for that reason, I'm okay with that. So I've got a couple of audiences I can start playing with. The next part of this is to come up with advertising copy. So I'm going to start with meta ads, select my avatar, and the offer, I'm going to go back and see what the main offer is right now. So let's just see what's running today, and let's get rid of our breakdowns. Where's our spend? Okay, the account's off at the moment, so let's actually do the first week of November, so we're outside of Black Friday period, and see what was actually running. Okay, that was actually there as well. That was Black Friday for November. So I'm trying to find a period where there aren't any particular... Okay, so this is interesting. There's calls, meta leads, and there's also WhatsApp as well. So this looks like there's 3 entry points into how they're running their offers. So this is going to be something I'm going to have to play around with to figure out the best way of doing the targeting. Okay, so that's bottom of funnel. Let's have a look at something which is higher up. Let's try this one. There's our amount spent. Okay, so let's have a look at this one here. Okay, so this one's in French, as far as I can see. Let's open that. Enroll your child, registration deadline. Okay, so that one looks like a time-limited campaign. I need to find something generic in terms of offers. So that looks like that's a kind of deadline based and probably less relevant right now. Let's have a look at, okay, this one's got some traffic. Let's open that in Facebook again so we can get our translation. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's have a look at this. Okay, interesting. So let's go and take some of this and I'm just not sure on the data here. So what I'm looking at is there seems to be multiple funnels in place, and what I don't have is the data on how the calls have gone, how the leads have gone. So I'm doing a little bit of guesswork here and trying to find the right offer and the right messaging at this point. So let's have a look back and let's have a kind of look at a midweek period. So we'll do that one there. See how different or maybe similar some of the offers are as well. Let's have a look at this. So it looks like it's a kind of monthly, what's going on here? It looks like it might be just a monthly offer with different time periods and a deadline and a call to action as well. So let's have a look at this particular one here and read the copy. So we translate this one from French and we click see more. Okay, so this is more of a generic one, I think. I don't think that's necessarily a date that's going to make sense because 1945 is gone. Okay, so we could probably use this as our offer. That looks good. It looks generic enough. So call us now into, okay, so this is a slightly different offer actually. So call us now to enroll your children. I'm going to actually put that into my avatar because it looks like there's two different avatars here. One is for people that want to teach. One is for people who want to send their kids as well. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to use this one here. Let's take this, copy that into, so I'm going to put parents wanting to teach their kids Arabic. Does it say what age? I don't know if it does. Okay, let's put that in there as well, into the offer. So let's run this one into an avatar as well. So it looks like there are two avatars, and I think we'll create both of these avatars for this particular client. And by the way, you're probably looking at this and saying, why didn't you collect this information up front and things like that? If it was an agency client, absolutely would have talked through it, would have had all of this down. But part of the challenge and part of the solution of creating videos like this is we've taken people from our community and just said, give us your ad account and we'll go and create stuff for you based on the AI and based on the insights as well. And this is the process. This is the kind of raw process of finding out what to do with the offer and how to push it through as well. We've got cost per call. So if you look at the ads here, if you scroll down, there'll be a section which will have the call details in the ad set, in the ads. Let's go run here. Let's edit it anyway. Okay, so I can't edit the ad and I can't see the details in the ad. So let's find a different ad set that has calls. Yep, let's look at that one. And let's click edit. So lifetime budget, that's all good. Placements, okay, that's good. So let's have a look at the ads. Okay, so this one again is got lifetime budget, so you can't actually view the ad to see what's going on. Let's per meta lead, call placed. So it looks like all the call placed ones are lifetime. Okay, so in that case, I would have to duplicate that in order to get access to the ad, and I'll duplicate it and then I'm going to essentially get rid of it because we don't want to keep it, but just for the sake of actually seeing the ad details. So let's go down here. So you can see here, destination, tell us where to send people immediately after they tap or click your ad. When people click on an ad, they can request call now or request a callback. This then relates down to the metrics in terms of cost per call and things like that. So it looks like that's likely going to be a call to action that we're going to have to incorporate. So it doesn't look like, from what I've seen, it doesn't look like any traffic goes to the website. So call booking funnel, which is this one, there's a WhatsApp funnel and a meta leads funnel. So three ways of bringing people in. So I'm going to save this avatar. I'm going to say avatar to parents. I'm just put parents Arabic learning. So let's put that into our project. So now we've got two avatars. So that's actually starting to make more sense. And I think we're probably gonna have to do this for the parents as well. So if we put parents, France again, we're gonna generate our ideas. Now, while it's doing that, I'm just gonna speed it up slightly and start working on my ads. So you can just let it run in the background. It's doing its thing here, generating the targeting. So here, let's start off with our parents. I think they're going to be easier to target. So if we go here, I think it was, okay, that's the time. Probably should have kept that offer. So now we need to find an offer message that's going to be suitable. So if we go, I think, where was it? Maybe it was this one here. So I'm looking for a generic offer message. And by the way, this becomes a lot more difficult because I don't necessarily know what I'm reading. So I have to go through this process of translating. So let's open that. Let's see what this says. I'm not sure why it says May 18. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, and that's going to be my offer for the children campaign. So what I'm going to do is paste that in, save that as an offer, so I can recall it back if I need to. I'm going to ask for all the copywriting frameworks. I'm not really sure what's going to work necessarily for this. I'm going to let it decide. Dan Kennedy's fine. And yeah, let's just start with something in the middle. So we'll start off with that. Let's just see where our audience setup has gone. So this is now for the parent campaign, 30 to 45, all genders. That makes sense. I'm going to keep that one. Yep, I think that's a good one. Education resources, not so sure. Community services, parenting, nope. Edu, online, children's educational apps. Audience size, I'm not sure about that one. Parenting tips, early childhood, kids activities, I think that's good. Behaviours, parents with toddlers, if that's there, that is pretty good. Let's see what else. Okay, these are smaller audiences, so that's all good. So that's fine for now. So I'm looking at the copy here in English. I obviously need to translate it if we're going to use it on the account. How much is your child's heritage worth? Having a training institute isn't just another language class. It's the missing link between identity and success. Okay, that's fine. It's not so good. Ada, every day another child loses touch with their roots. I like that, but it doesn't have to be yours. It gives family a real solution. That's a good ad. I like that. Many families struggle to keep their children connected to Arabic and their cultural heritage. Okay, I like that hook. Designed for busy families who want results. That's a pretty cool one. I like that. For families seeking more than just language basics, settling for random online videos won't cut it. That's also a good one. And for those with concerns about cultural disconnect, there's hope. Many discover that with the right support. Okay, so I like these ones. So that's all good. So now we're going to change this into Arabic. So I know there's different dialects. It's chosen the Saudi Arabia thing there. Now I'm running this and I won't actually be able to read what it says, but thankfully I can get it translated fairly quickly. So let's just see what it comes back with. And then we'll figure out how best to move this forward. And there's two ways of doing it. One is I could load them all up in English and ask the client to check it and translate whichever they want. But what I'm going to actually do is find the ones that work and actually just put them straight in that as well. So here we go. So the importance of not wasting time on effective. Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, so let's try that one there. Let's see what it makes of this copy. Because I think from what I remember, the 5 copywriting frameworks here are actually good. So the urgency of not losing valuable time. Where's it gone? With ineffective. Okay, so that's good. Let's try Bab. So really, when I'm looking at copy, I'm looking at the main hook, like the first part of the ad copy, because that's where people will end up converting as well. Lost opportunities. Okay, that's good. So I think these are going to be good ones. So I'm going to save this. So this is for Avatar 2. That's fine. So these are good 5 copies to get started. And then I'm going to do the same again for Avatar 1. So we have those in place as well. So now we go to Avatar 1, and this time we have a different offer. So we're going to have to go and find, I think if we go in the last 7 days, let's find the campaign. Okay, I'm going to click on that. Go find one of our ads. Let's preview that one, and let's see what the offer is. So we're going to take out the date because the client can put their date in. So this is your chance to join the current course, etc. And that's all good. Okay, cool. So I'm going to use that as my offer. So join the current course to become that. Okay. This is a restricted certificate. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll leave that in for now. Okay, we can take this part out, I think. Okay, that's good. Let's double check. That's all looking good. So I'm going to start off in English again, just because I want to actually read what's coming through, because once it's out translated, it'll be very similar as well. So what we're doing here is, this is for the first avatar. So the way I can see the campaign structure is top down. There's going to be campaigns for teachers, and then separately a campaign structure for parents. From what I can see of the ad account right now, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. There's probably some terminology here, IFA and AFPA, which probably means something in terms of naming convention, but we're going to be changing that somewhat. So tired of piecing together lessons and hoping for the best. Imagine walking into a class armed with 40 years of expertise. Many educators spend hours searching for quality Arabic teaching resources only to end up overwhelmed. The program delivers interactive books, etc. Okay, so that's good. Now let's go and translate. And we want more creativity, so let's generate that. And you can choose different copywriters and things like that, the copy format as you want. Sometimes having too many constraints actually doesn't help the AI. So I like to give it a bit more scope to think about what it's actually doing before it goes ahead and creates the content as well. Let's just go back to our projects. Okay, it's all there. That's all good. Just lost my screen. So let's get it to actually translate what that first ad says to make sure we are on track. By the way, if you're working with clients in different languages, it's just handy to have an AI that can read what the AI is writing in a different language. Encourages teachers to transform the future and impact new gen. Points out inefficiencies. Okay, that's all good. So I think I'm going to be okay with that. So save for avatar 1. Yep, I'm going to save that. By the way, these frameworks, they're just different copywriting frameworks. If you want to find out more, let me know in the comments. I have explained those in previous videos, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the frameworks. So that's all right. So now we've got 2 avatars, got multiple ad sets or audience targeting and multiple ad copy. What I'm actually going to do now is launch in some... Oh, I forgot to save my offer. Did we? Okay, let's make sure we save that this time and take out... Okay, it doesn't look like we've got our full changes saved, but I'm going to save this one as an offer, so we've actually got both as well. Avatar, I'm going to do teachers because this is a teachers one, and I'm going to generate hooks and angles. The reason I'm doing this, although you don't necessarily install this, it's going to be useful later on to come up with new creative ideas. So we'll see what the angles are. What this does is it gives you ideas for your creative phase. Quality resources aren't a luxury, they're a necessity for effective teaching. Overwhelmed by lesson planning, think you need a background in education to teach Arabic, think again. So each of these hooks are built on different marketing headline frameworks. Struggling to keep up with educational trends, believing low-cost resources are enough. So we're playing against some misconceptions, some fears and things like that. So that's all good. I'm going to save these. So this is teachers. I'm going to save that. And then we're going to do the same again for the children. So what we're trying to do is build some interesting hooks that are going to give us the edge when it comes to the next phase of the creative. And putting this together just makes it easier to come up with fresh ideas. And essentially, once you've got these hooks, you're going to come up with infinite number of creative angles off the back of them as well. So stop wasting time on ineffective free resources, child's cultural identity, more than language, scheduling conflicts. Okay, so that's all good. I'm going to save that as well. So this is avatar to parents. So now we have the structure of everything we need. The next part is launch ads. So the first part of this, which I'm going to actually put in place, is installing the framework. I need to remember which account this one is. There we go. So this is lead gen. So I need my lead gen funnel. Now what this does is it installs our base template for campaigns. It doesn't mean we need to use everything here, but it just means that we have the structure in place for what we need. So we've got our audience testing, got our ads library, and I'll show you how we use that. We're going to install our ads there. Video view audience, I think we probably could keep that. Warm, hot, customers, and PPE. Do we need the page post engagements? I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to leave that one out, I think, for now. I'm going to leave the video views because that will be useful. And that's pretty much it. So I've selected my ad account already. So here I'm going to type in BPM. There's no campaigns with BPM on there. Once I hit install, there will be. And this takes a few moments. I think should be about 10 seconds, but I guess you can tell me if that's the case when you watch the replay. So right, these are all installed. Now we hit refresh and that should be in the ad account. Bravo. So now we need to think about what kind of structure we're going to install. So I mentioned, for example, parents versus the educators and setting up the campaigns in a certain way. I think there's 2 ways of doing this. One is at the campaign level, I could call all of these parent audience testing, parent this, parent that, or at the ad set level, I could have parent and kid. And there's pros and cons of both. Having the campaigns all set against your avatar helps to keep it clean in terms of the avatars themselves, but having the avatars at the ad set level helps keep your campaign structure clean as well. Either of them work. For this particular demo, I think I'm going to choose the option of keeping the campaign structure simple. So I'm not going to edit anything here, just to demonstrate how a simplified view looks. Obviously, the client can change that later if they want. So now that we've installed our campaign structure, we can go and install our ad sets. So it's a very simple process here. We've done our research. We're going to go and install this on the campaign. But what we do here is we start off by putting them in the ads library. I'm just going to do search for library. So if you go back to our setup, we have a campaign name called ads library. So what I like to do is just preload those in ready to be tested. We are going with, I believe it's this pixel. We're going to go with the lead, I think. So for the time being, it doesn't really matter. This is just as a placeholder for now. Daily, lifetime. So the client uses lifetime budget because, especially for call bookings, you want to make sure that if the ad is saying call this number, that someone's going to be able to answer. And I think on the ad account it's set to 9 to 6 p.m. So therefore you have to set a lifetime budget. I'm just going to put daily for now, just so that we've got a placeholder. We're going to select all of these. We're going to change the naming here. I'm going to call this one parents, just to help later on. I'll show that as well. I think this is also parents, and we've got 3 parents, and I think these are the teachers. So let's put that in with that, and we're going to put teachers. Oops, let's not delete the whole thing. Teachers and finally teachers. So I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3. I think that's about right for what we had set up. Okay, so I'm now going to create those ad sets. So again, it's going to go into the library. So I'm just going to drop those in. Should take, I think, about 10-ish seconds. And I'm sure you can let me know in the recording if it actually did, because I don't have a timer to actually check. So that will actually just drop the ad sets here. You can see 3 of them already, so that's all good. It's still creating. Let's refresh. Maybe there's a 4th and a 5th, and all done. So all 8 are there now. All good. So let's have a quick check inside. Make sure it's all good. Now, for this particular client, I know the conversion location is going to be call. If I was to then install these in my main campaigns, when I do a duplication, and I'll show you that later, you can set, in fact, I can do that now. So let's say, for example, we want to start testing with teachers first. We can put that into our first phase of testing, and I can just paste that in there. So the placeholder is called ads library because you have to see it as a library as well. So I can change that to calls. I can obviously change the call to action. I can do the lifetime budget. I can do the scheduling, which absolutely would do for this campaign if I was running ads Monday to Friday, 9 to 6, for example. It just allows you to have a bit more flexibility. So I'm just going to discard that for now while we focus on our ads library. So now we've got 8 ad sets there. The next thing is we want to drop some ads in. So I'm going to go to bulk ads uploader. And here what I can do is select my project. We've got 10 ads. So 5 for avatar 2, 5 for avatar 1. So I'm going to go to next. I'm going to choose the teachers because I'm going to start with a teachers campaign. So we've got 5 ads. I'm going to click next. Let's select our ad account. Make sure it's going to the right place. And the campaign is our library. And let's just choose our ad sets. Let's refresh that. So this is going to go to our teachers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teacher campaigns, Facebook page. This one I'm going to put contact us for now. It needs a domain because that's what unfortunately Meta forces you to make sure that things are always put in regardless of if you're using them. This UTM campaign tracking, I don't think the client uses it from what I've seen, but you can leave that in there. This is the default. And then we turn off all of the AI enhancements. So you can turn that on if you're a glutton for punishment, but I suggest leaving that off. Click next. Now what we can do is we can have a creative per copy. Now because I can't read the copy, and I think for this 1 image will be fine, it's better, but you can do 1 creative per copy to give it a bit more personalization. I'm just going to choose 1 creative for all of them. So when I had a look through previously, they've got a number of AI generated images already in the account, which I think are okay. I like this one here, for example. In fact, I remember we're targeting women exclusively here. So I'm going to change this to maybe this one here. That's And in fact, I need a female focused one. We'll do this one here. So select that one. So that will apply this creative for all of the copy. Click next. I can just double check that all the settings are fine. You can do a preview, edit anything you want here. I'm not going to edit because I can't understand what's written. So now the publishing goes ahead. So what this will do is for each of these audiences, it will install those ad copies into each of them. You can see one of them's already done. So that's pretty cool. And we'll just go, here we go, making more progress. I can't read the Arabic, but you can see just based on words per line that they are loading up one by one. Let's see. So all published, no problems there. So 25 successful, 5 unique ads across 5 ad sets. So they're all preloaded. So going back to the campaign structure, what we've done is to put all the ad sets and the ads into an ads library. We don't have the parents one yet, so I'm just going to go and do that. So upload more, go back to our project, click next. It should, if we go to parents this time, select all, click next. It should remember my ad account. Yep, it's got ads library. That's all good. I'm going to have to select all and deselect because I just want the parents one. It's the right page, contact us, everything is there. Click next. So this is the parent campaign. So for this one, I want a kids orientated image. I don't think the graduation would quite work for a kid campaign. So obviously that's a bit, I think the kids are between 3 and 12. So you want something that represents kids 3 to 12. Let's have a look. I don't actually know what's on the account, so I'm just flicking through to see if there is something that we can put up. That looks good. I'm going to use that image. So I'm just speeding through this to show you the process. So let's publish those 15 ads. So now what that's doing is on our 3 remaining ad sets, if I click that and if I click refresh, you should see them start to drop in one by one. So it's publishing now. Here we go. Preview that. So there we go. Ads slowly getting there. Let's just check the status. 15 successful, 0 failed, etc. All good. So now what we have is we have our base of audiences and our ads that are ready for testing. So the next phase here, let's just start with parents here. So I'm going to copy this, and this is the process. If you follow the BPM method, I'm not going to go through the whole process. We have 3 stages of testing. Phase 1 is audience testing. So what we do here is, does the audience work? Then we have creative testing and then scale. So for this one, I'm going to paste these ad sets in here. And I'm going to show you the kind of process as I would go through it here. Now, because we are generating calls, I'm going to change the call to action. In fact, maybe website and calls for this. Let's have a look through. So let's make sure. So this one, we would want to set a schedule. So we set our lifetime to 1,000. Oops, 10,000. 1,000. Let's do a 2-week schedule. And let's get a schedule from 9 to 6. I think that's right. Okay, so that's all good. Now, if we go into the ads, I should be able to edit those if it all works fine. Where's my, okay, why is it selected that? Okay, not sure why it did it this way. I think, let's choose one. Okay, so for whatever reason, it looks like changing the targeting has actually changed the contents of the ad. Let's go back here and we're going to delete all these ads. So let's just make sure our ad sets are fine. We'll change it to calls. So edit, we only want calls from this one. Let's go back to our page. Okay, so let's publish. In fact, let's change this. So you're just seeing in live view the process. Let's change that. Let's change that. So I'm going to publish this first. So these are now published into my testing campaign. Okay, that's done. So now I'm going to go back to my ads library. I'm going to go and find my ads. I'm going to copy my ads, go back to the ads library, go back to audience testing phase. I'm going to paste it one at a time here. So I'm going to paste that in. Just make sure that it's actually taken the copy across. Okay, it's got all that. Call to action, call now. It should Let's take the CRM, no, website we don't need. It should add the telephone number in. Okay, so we can take that from the website, copy, that's not right. Let's try that again. Okay, so is it not valid? 756, we just figured it out. So I think that's it. So let's have a look at the ads. Okay, I need to do the Instagram account. So I think that's pretty much it. It's got the copy, it's got the image, it's got the call to action, telephone number, just double checking everything else, and that looks good. So we have to just make sure we put our Instagram placement in to all of them. That looks good. So now what I can do is, once I get that one published, I can then very easily copy that into my other ad sets. Let's just double check one of them. So the right targeting, call to action, telephone number. Let's check the CRM. No, it didn't add the CRM. So easy fix, go to edit, make sure they're all selected, and then do CRM events. So this just plugs it into the back end. They've got the CRM events already set up. There's no website call to action, so that's not needed. And then offline events are already set up as well. So we click publish, and that's pretty much it. So these ad sets would be ready to start. Obviously, I've set the budget at 1,000 over the 2 weeks, which would roughly work out, let's just do it, 1,000 divided by, in fact, it's 5 days of it. So it's literally 100 a day per ad set. That's up to the client if they want to run that, but that's pretty much it. Everything else is in place, and that's the process. So we've left the targeting for teachers in here. The client can decide if they want to use that. I would drop them into the same ad set for testing. So if I'm in my testing process, and let's say I want to only look at parents, then I would type in parents on the ad set name. And that means I can keep my campaign structure clean. So at the top level, it's just a group of BPM campaigns. And at the ad set level, again, because I'm naming the avatar, I can flick between, I don't have teachers, but I could say ad set name is teachers, and it makes it easy to do my analysis and to find the insights here as well. And that's pretty much it. So that's the process from start to finish of taking a slightly longer route around launching a campaign. Obviously, if you're working with clients or this is your own project, you know a lot more about the offer and the audience than I did here, because I wanted to take one completely from cold where I had no knowledge of it. And I've created some ads which I think are pretty good. The things that I would do on top of this, first of all, the client has lots of data on custom audiences. I would add lookalikes here because I think lookalikes will give you a lot more leverage. I would also expand out the countries. So I think at the moment I've only got France. So let's look at location. In fact, it's changed it. So something just to keep an eye out with Meta. I'm going to put France, take out US. I think they had Belgium, and I think probably French speaking Switzerland as well. Why can we not target the country? There we go. So Switzerland. I think there's also French Luxembourg, I'm not sure, but we can start with these. And then what you can do is, like, these are the countries we're starting with. You could, if you want, add language targeting as well. So people that speak Arabic and things like that. But I think this is probably fine for this targeting. And that's pretty much it. So this would be, as far as testing, ready to go with the targeting. I'm just going to publish that. Notice I haven't put anything live because that's obviously down to the client to manage how they want, but that's the structure. Now, if you're asking how to use the other parts of the structure, once audiences are tested here and prove to be working, you then move them into the second phase. So let's say, for example, only one of these worked, and let's just say the broad audience worked. I would copy that, I would turn the other ones off and push that into phase 2. And the reason for this is I want an ad set here where I can just focus on testing new creative. So we have some ads here already. Now for this phase, because all I've done is locked in different copy with the same creative, now I want to go through a multiple creative process of testing. And at the same time, push that same winning ad set into phase 3, where now I want to do more scale testing. So I'm just going to discard that draft to get more leverage in terms of stability and profitability. They're all parts of the BPM method outside of the scope of this video, but hopefully this gives you the process of kind of end-to-end taking a campaign which kind of from the start I had no idea of, and then getting it into some kind of launch phase just really quite easily, step by step. And once all that's all live and running, then you can start using the analysis tools and start working with the AI to figure out what to do next. But hopefully that shows you how easy it is, especially given that I knew nothing about the brand and kind of just launched hopefully within an hour. I don't know how long this video would end up being, but for you it should be a lot faster when you're not having to speak and you have a lot more background on your project. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for joining me in this video. If you have any questions, post them below. And if you have ideas on other types of campaigns or setups you're looking at, I can have a look at those as well.